Well, good morning and welcome to the campus of Drury University, the O'Reilly Family Event Center, site of the 34th Annual National Christian Homeschool Basketball National Championships. And this is Scott Staten alongside Josh Jenkins. And for the first time, Brandon Dilger. Welcome to the broadcast, Brandon. We're going to be bringing you a game that's got a clash of the Midwest and the Heartland. It'll be the HEA Firebirds out of just outside of Detroit, Michigan, taking on the Lincoln Eagles out of Nebraska. Lincoln coming in as the 5A6 seed. On the other side, the 3 seed is HEA. And guys, we've already had some great action today. Josh, I know you were in on one of the first couple games.
Yeah, both games started out really tight in the first half. And the second half, the higher seeds in both games ended up pulling away with it. So we'll see if that trend continues here with the higher seed Firebirds, or if the Eagles can flip the script here.
Brandon, we saw HEA. They got some height when you're looking at them out there shooting ahead of the game, and some experience. They advanced really deep into the tournament last year.
Yeah, height does play a definite advantage in this game, but also speed and accuracy. If you don't have either one of those, you're going to have a hard time putting points on the board.
Absolutely. We're about ready to tip off. This is Game 3 in the earlier games. Wichita Warriors over the Benton Bucks and the Manhattan Thunder over the Tyler Heat just finished. Both of those two winners will move on now in Division 1 as we advance through this week. And it's just Monday, but it's going to go fast. And before you know it, it's going to be Friday night, and we will be watching the Undisputed National Championship. Thanks for joining us. We'll be on all week long. Here you can catch up all the information on NCHClive.com, also on our YouTube channel. And we will keep bringing you action here from the Drury University campus all week long. Let's go. Opening tip. Opsimer gets the tip for the Firebirds. Quickly down to the bucket, puts it up and in. And wow, just like that, HEA. That was actually Opsimer with the bucket. And after they won the tip. And so quick lead for the Firebirds.
Yeah, and speaking of speed, the Lincoln Eagles, they average 68 points per game playing up-tempo style. So we could see a barn burner in this one.
That was Markowitz on the tip that won. He played some big minutes last year on a team that had undisputed aspirations but couldn't quite get the job done, as it was the Tennessee Heat and MHEA. It will be interesting to see who comes out on the boys this year, as MHEA down just a little bit. They graduated so many players, but they're always so dangerous. We had a whistle on the court, and they're checking on the clock, I believe. Oh, we got an injury. So a great job there by the officials. We've got great officials all week, but he was caught that one of the players there had injured himself, and so he stopped play, and they will resume action over on the sideline in front of the HEA bench. It's the Eagles out of Lincoln, Nebraska. They're in the black uniforms with the white and red-orange kind of trim, and then it's HEA Firebirds in the white. Oh, nice inbounds pass, and there's Jensen to put it in for the Eagles, their first bucket.
That was a great cut, a great out-of-bounds play drawn up just to get an easy bucket. That always helps when you can have plays that get you easy buckets. You don't have to work so hard for everything.
HEA working around. There's Opsimer in the lane. He's so dangerous there. Puts that off a little bit short to the left. Fight for the board underneath. Ball tips out up top. Firebirds back in action again here from the corner. Number 10 puts it up. Blair, that's no good. Another offensive board, 2 in a row. Here's a 3. That's long, and the rebound bounces into the hands of the Eagles. Bert Nelson. Nelson brings it down. Nelson, the team leader right now, but then the ball stripped away, taken away by the HEA Firebirds. Back the other way. Little elbow shot, and that one's good. Over on the left side of the bucket. That was number 12, Anderson Blair, his first 2 of the game, and it's 4-2 now. HEA with the early lead. Here's a deep 3, and that one's good. He was behind the college line on that one. Beautiful shot by number 3, Bert Nelson. Bert, his name is Alex. He goes by Bert. I didn't quite get the story on that. There's always something behind these guys, but HEA quickly the other way. The left-hander no good. Oh, cleaned up the board, and nice job by Markowitz to put it back in and put his team back in front 6-5.
Yeah, so far really just fast-paced up and down. Quick scoring. The other 2 games were a little bit more fill you out to start the game type games. But these guys have not waited very long to get the scoring going.
Jensen kicks it out. Here's Nelson again for another 3. That one's short. Rebound to Markowitz. HEA on the attack.
Yeah, we're going to have to send Jeremy to get that story on the nickname there.
That time Opsimer, another shot short. Looked like he stiff-armed a little bit, fight underneath, and they're going to call a jump ball there, and that will give it back to Lincoln. What we've seen so far, Brandon, the HEA seems like they really want to push the pace of this game. Every time they get a rebound, they are off to the races.
Yeah, there's definitely no delay on these shots and getting this ball up the court. I have a feeling this is going to be a fast-paced game throughout the whole 4 quarters.
HEA with as we mentioned, the deep run last year. They were one of those teams. There were about really 5 or 6 last year that had a legitimate shot at the Undisputed and fell just a little short. Of course, their girls program, who's not here this year, but their girls program back-to-back Undisputed. Here's another steal, but couldn't hang on to it. Great hustle there by Anderson Blair, but the ball goes off of his hand, and it will stay down at this end. Eagles bringing it in from the sideline just to our right. Lincoln with the ball. They trail at 6-5. And here comes Bert Nelson. Second leading scorer on this team, just under 18 points a game he averages. Taylor on the attack, kicks it back out. Ooh, ball tipped away. Good action. Active hands on the drive. Kicks it back out. Here's Jensen again. HEA just really locking them down where they can't get inside that lane. Eagles so far, though, have been content with shooting from outside. Here's Nelson again. Kicks it over at the corner 3. That one's long. Rebound to Opsimer. Here comes HEA on the attack. Quickly to Markowitz. Drives it all the way in. Strong move. That's his second bucket of the game, and now the lead is up to 8-5 HEA.
And again, just so fast, off like a routine defensive rebound. They're just flying and pushing it up the floor, just hungry to get those buckets.
Here's Bert Nelson. Stopped down on the block. Ooh, dangerous pass, and threw it. It went actually off of the official, but it's going to stay. Nope, it's going to go the other way. That pass was almost a desperation throw, and when he tried to save it, he threw it off of the official, and it goes over to HEA.
Yeah, the official was standing basically where the ball would have directly gone out of bounds, so you go ahead and call that.
Yep. HEA. Inside was Opsimer, but he kicked it over. He's back on the elbow. A little bit of contact, nothing. Out top again to Blair, and he drops it in, the 3. First time to connect from outside for him. 5 points on the game now. First 3 for HEA. Nelson now bringing it quickly the other way for the Eagles out of Lincoln. He pops up a 3 from the left corner, and that's good. His second 3 of the game. He's now got 6. 2 for 2. On the 3-pointers, it's 11-8. That cuts back into the lead. HEA on the attack again. They'll slow it down this time. Going to work it around. Opsimer set up at the free throw line, and then there's a kick on defense. Taylor. Isaac Taylor, the leading scorer. He's not been able to get into the scorers column yet this game, but number 1 for the Eagles is their top scorer of the season. Opsimer lost the ball, but it went right into his teammate's hand, but his shot is too strong. Markowitz with the rebound, but could not gather it in, and it goes off of his hands and back into the Lincoln Eagles.
Yeah, when you play fast, like both these teams have a fast-paced mindset, and you're able to shoot the 3 ball, like we've seen a couple from both sides go down, that's a recipe for a high-scoring game and a fun brand of basketball.
It's always fun in these tournaments, the first couple of games of the week. You'll see teams that last year were really dominant, and the faces change, but you still see some familiar ones, and it's just enough. They've got that experience from last year, and you can see it with HEA. Even though they graduated some talent, they kept enough around and have enough of that experience that it's really turned into a successful season for them. That time the ball thrown away. A couple of errant passes by the Eagles there. Seems like they're rushing the ball. And I'm sure that's easy for me to say because I'm not out there in the middle with all those tall timbers trying to figure out who I can find an open guy and get the ball to.
Well, and that's the flip side of the fast-paced run-and-gun offense is also the run-and-gun defense. That you're trying to be disruptive, get hands in the passing lanes, create havoc.
That time, Opsimer drives to his left, and he basically got shoved in the air, but the shot falls. Just shows his strength there. Opsimer now with 4 on the game. Eagles struggling to get into some kind of a flow here. They've hit a couple of threes. Bert Nelson, Taylor, really, they need him to get into the game here as he's their leading scorer. He fires up a three. That is no good. There's an offensive board. Here's Jensen, another three, and that's too strong. Over to the left side. Here comes Opsimer. Opsimer up ahead quickly to rebound, and then inside. Nice shot. Beautiful ball movement, and now it's 16-8. Nelson, top of the key, another three. He's been their offense so far.
And those are the best types of threes. Threes off of offensive rebounds that you kick back out. The defense has collapsed, so you're wide open.
Blair the other way quickly. That was a heat check because he's connected on 2 straight threes. That time the Eagles rushed it themselves. Ball goes out of bounds, and it goes back to the HEA Firebirds. Opsimer on that last possession before that where they had scored the three, drove it inside and did a quick pass, and it looked like he was going to get the ball back, but Blair felt the heat and put it in. Here's Opsimer from outside. He can fire it from there. Shot a little short, skims the rim, goes out of bounds, off of the hands of the Firebirds. It will go the other way. 1:27 to go here, first period. It is HEA out of the Midwest. A little bit of a disappointing Midwest regional for them. They went in with some high hopes. Got knocked off in the semis, and then in the third place game, went to overtime and lost to the Tennessee Heat, who they had seen last year. Here's a three, that time no good by Nelson. HEA with the board.
Little heat check three there for Nelson.
Yeah. It was a heat check, and he found out the oven had been turned off. He did not hit it that time.
And I still like that shot for him, even though it didn't go down. It was in rhythm. He was open. He could hit those.
Great defensive hands there. Ball knocked away as they tried the entry pass inside to Lietzau. He couldn't get it, and here comes the Eagles on the attack. Boy, Taylor still trying to get involved. Over in the corner, here's Nelson. Fires up another three. Too strong. Looked like it was on line, but just a little bit too much, and here comes HEA. Blair, corner, high pass. Might have rushed that one a little bit. Turnover on the Firebirds. 16-11, 41 seconds to go here. HEA in the white uniforms with the lead, but it is the Lincoln Eagles with the ball. Nelson going to go over and take a breath. He's had a good first quarter.
On that previous missed three from Nelson in the corner, that time it was a great defense. The defender was up close. There was no space for him to really get a good, clean shot off.
Ball fed into the blocks. Oh, active hands once again by HEA. Here come the Firebirds. They'll slow it down a little. Might be looking for the last shot here. 23 seconds to go in the quarter. They lead it right now 16-11. Anderson Blair with the ball. Tosses it up. Ball tipped away by the Eagles, but out of bounds. With 10 seconds to go, it will stay at this end. Inbounds over on the left corner. It'll be thrown in by Anderson Blair. Back out top to Ellis Blair. Ellis Blair, one of the all Midwest performers. He hasn't scored yet today, but doing a great job on defense. And here's a three with 1 second to go. No good. Rebound was there, but it was too late. And that's how things will end. After one period, it is 16-11. The HEA Firebirds leading the Lincoln Eagles. We'll be back with second quarter action after this break.
When it hurts, real time it. When it hurts. When it hurts, real time it. Ouch! When it hurts, real time it. Ouch! When it hurts, real time it.
Welcome back to Springfield, Missouri, campus of Drury University. We're at the 34th Annual National Christian Homeschool Basketball Championships. Scott Staten, Joshua Jenkins, Brandon Dilger, and we're bringing you the second quarter action here. The HEA Firebirds out of the Midwest. They lead it right now 16-11 over the Lincoln Eagles out of Nebraska. It'll be the Firebirds bringing it in just in front of us. And so far, it's been the outside shot that's kept Lincoln in this game, but the quick attacks and the offensive boards by HEA really giving them a early lead so far. Here's Opsimer on the drive, switches hands, nice. Strong drive by him. That's his 6th point of the game. Quickly the other way. Here's Taylor trying to get involved, the leading scorer for the Eagles, but nothing so far as that one goes long. Back the other way. I've said that 100 times here. And here's Markowitz. He puts it in quickly. That's his 6th point of the game. And HEA just really pushing the pace today.
I mean, as soon as they get a defensive rebound, they're on the other side of the court, and somebody's getting a layup or a three or a foul.
On the other way, Cademan Jensen with a beautiful bounce pass to a cutting Burt Nelson, but Nelson couldn't get it to go. He was hacked, so he will be at the charity stripe for 2. First one is good. First free throw for the Eagles. They trail it 20-12, trying to trim that lead off just a little bit more. Second's good. Boy, he's got a nice shot. You can tell on the three-pointers and the free throw line. But they've got to get Taylor involved. Taylor has hit just under 100 three-pointers this season, but nothing so far today. Here come the Firebirds. Markowitz, nice right-handed hook shot. He leads his team in scoring, or tied now, with Anderson Blair, 8 points. Other way, Stratman spins, guarded by Opsimer, puts it up. I don't know how he got that shot over him. Good defense. Doesn't go, though. Here comes Markowitz. The other way, lightning speed, but blocked and stolen away. Good defense by the Eagles there. That time, Burt Nelson showing his chops on the defensive end. There he is in the corner. Can he hit his 4th? Too short. But they get the offensive board. Taylor thinks otherwise. Burt thought about it and thought about it too much. His legs went before the dribble. Brandon, what have you seen so far on the defensive end from HEA? They seem to really be giving some trouble to Taylor, who's the leading scorer for the Eagles.
Yeah, they've got a good defense. They've got good coverage on these guys. Fast hands, just like the rest of their game.
Here's a 3 by Opsimer. Whoa, that one's nice. The big man showing he's got just about everything you want in the toolbox there. Quickly the other way, cross-court pass, back out top. Fakes the 3, drives, stops in the lane. Here's Taylor. Taylor doesn't seem like he's ready to shoot there. He's been guarded so closely the whole time. He's doing everything he can to get open, though, and his teammates trying as well. That time a back tap tipped away by Daniel Bauer. Other way, Firebirds on the break. Opsimer up and in. Count it, and he'll have a chance at a 3-point play.
And that's just the strength of Opsimer. I mean, he's a very strong young man. He can absorb the contact. He's got great body control on those fast breaks where it can be hard for some guys. It can be a bit out of control. He's so under control and strong. That is just, I don't know how you stop that.
He hits the free throw to complete the 3-point play. He's got 8 points this quarter alone, 12 on the game. We haven't even talked about he's in the slam dunk finals tonight. I mean, he can shoot, he can run, he can defend, he can rebound, and he can dunk.
That's right. I had the privilege of being one of the judges in the slam dunk semifinals last night. Got to see the display he put on.
HEA on the attack once again. Here's a corner 3. That one's a little short. There's Markowitz to clean it up. His follow is not good, but he gets his own rebound and puts it in.
Yeah, Brady, Markowitz, and Opsimer there, 2 big dudes down there who are very athletic and strong. That's a tough matchup for the Eagles.
We're going to have a timeout here, so we'll take a quick break. Final 5:23 here in this first half. It is all HEA right now, leading it 30-13 over Lincoln. Welcome back. National Christian Homeschool Basketball Championships. You are watching the 5A Boys 18U game. The number 3 seed HEA Firebirds in control over the 6 seed Lincoln Eagles right now, 30-13. And it's been very balanced scoring. 8 points by Anderson Blair, 10 points by Markowitz, and Roman Opsimer with 12 points already to lead their team into this lead. Let's see what Lincoln can do to get back in it. Bert Nelson, he's done well. He's connected on 3 3-pointers. Taylor yet to score. Had the ball there, and there's a foul. It's contact out top.
Well, you mentioned Taylor. He's really kind of the wild card of this game. You've mentioned it. He's their leading scorer for Lincoln Eagles. So if he can get going, that's the wild card that can really change this game and get them back into it.
97 threes on the year for him, but and part of it's been the defense for sure, but he's not really, it seemed like it hasn't looked for a shot as much, but maybe that will happen trying to overcome this defense. Another steal for HEA, but on the break, the ball's knocked away by Johnson for the Eagles, so it will stay down under the basket of HEA. Firebirds in the white unis, Eagles in the black. Oh, nice find. Opsimer threw it in, goes to the far right corner, and drops it. His second 3 of the game. He's got 15 now to lead the Firebirds.
Just a nice classic inbound play there. Watch the inbounder, and he slipped open for a wide-open 3.
Pretty pass inside. They got to go on the floor to pick it up. Johnson tried to get it to Taylor. Boy, bodies all over the place here. It ends up in the hands of Bert Nelson. Nelson for 3, partially blocked. Rebound comes off into the hands of Carson Stenson. Back the other way comes HEA. Quickly up ahead, Daniel Bauer. Bauer has the ball knocked away. There's a steal by the Eagles. Let's see if they can do something with it. Taylor on the drive. Looks over to the left side to Anderson, or Stratman rather. Stratman puts it up. No good off the front of the rim. Rebound to Stenson. Here comes Opsimer. All the way in. Right hand. Drops it in. Wow, what a game. And a performance so far by Roman Opsimer. Just willing his way for this team to a 22-point lead.
And he's got so many offensive tools in the bag as well. The strength, the size, the shooting, the Euro step we just saw.
Yeah. 3-pointer by Cademan Jensen. No good, but then the putback goes in. That was Gideon Johnson. His first 2 of the game. First field goal of the quarter and the half.
Yeah, much-needed bucket for the Eagles. If they can get a stop or 2 here, string together a couple of scores, that's what they need to feel good going into half.
That time a little dish inside, kind of an alley-oop. Markowitz missed his shot, and once again gets his own rebound, somehow falling to the floor, drops it, and he'll have a chance at a 3-point play.
I really like this Brady Markowitz paired alongside the Roman Opsimer. That combo is just so fun and so hard to defend. And on top of just the abilities they have, the shooting, the size, the basketball wits, the guys play hard.
Yeah, they do.
When you play hard with great skill, that is just doing the best with what God gave you.
They're going one speed, that's for sure. He sinks it. Another 3-point play for the Firebirds, and now their lead is ballooned to the largest of the game so far. Eagles trying to do something to stop that. Bounce pass in the lane. They made some nice passes, but, man, the hands of the HEA Firebirds have just been so active down there. Seems like every pass is contested. Jensen for the Eagles. There's in the corner. Thought about the 3. Drives the baseline, but he's cut off. Here's Taylor. Drives it in. Nice little scoop shot, and he finally gets on the board, and maybe that will get things rolling for him. First 2 of the game for Taylor.
That's certainly what you're hoping for if you're the Eagles, is that can get a little spark going for Taylor, get him going, and that will also help Nelson be able to score. Nelson had 3 threes in that first quarter.
Here comes Blair, another 3. His third 3 of the game. Now he's in double digits. 41-17, 2:19 to go here in the first half. It's been all HEA over Lincoln. On the attack, beautiful pass, but then Opsimer shows one more tool in his toolkit with the block. Other way, Markowitz scoops it up and rolls it in.
That's not fair.
And there's going to be a timeout. What do you do on that? That's the second one here in this quarter where Markowitz seemingly is falling down and just has the touch, the English on the ball to put it in.
He must be doing something right.
Yeah, that's just good body control and seeing the basket and being able to put that thing in there like that.
So if you are Lincoln right now, I mean, it's tough when you play a team that's just right now, they're just a buzzsaw. You can tell they're playing in another gear, even from what it looked like they were playing with the in the Midwest. I had the opportunity to watch some games over in Indianapolis where I'm from, and they just seem to be at a whole different level. And sometimes that happens with kids. You know, they've got to have the right motivation, and maybe because they made it so far last year, you know, they just needed this atmosphere to be ready to roll, and now we're starting to see why they're one of the favorites that was coming out of the Midwest, even though they didn't get the results they wanted in the tournament. And Eagles on the other side, we know they can score. I mean, they've got two guys that have almost 100 three-pointers on the season, and we've seen some of that, but not enough to be able to do much against this team. Here come the Eagles.
And, you know, that's the thing. If you're the Eagles, you can't think about the Firebirds that way. You can't think, oh, they're big and fast and strong.
Right.
You just got to think, keep playing your game. You guys score a bunch of points yourselves. You can turn it on and light it up and get hot yourself. Keep playing your game.
That time, Opsimer knocks the ball away, and it goes into the hands of his teammate, Daniel Bauer. He'll bring it up. Here's Opsimer from the corner. That was short. Rebound, another offensive board, went into the hands of Ellis Blair, and we got a whistle as he tried to put that back in. Yeah, that's a good point too, Josh. Where it's easy to focus on what is happening on the other side of the court rather than just on what you can do to be able to play your game. And we know with what they've done this season, 15 wins, first shot is no good, that they have the ability to be able to be on this court and to play these games. But for them to be able to advance to Division I, boy, it's going to take a run, and we're going to have to see something change. On the defensive end, they've got to get some stops, but then they've got to get some buckets to drop. Second one was good. And here's the Eagles, Jensen. Bert Nelson goes to his right, being guarded closely by Blair, and ball knocked out of bounds. And it's going to stay down at this end. Nelson will throw it in under his own basket.
Yeah, that's the real difficulty right now with the Eagles, is just that nothing is easy. The Firebirds are playing just incredible smothering defense, hands everywhere. Nothing is given away here defensively from the Firebirds.
Double team that time. Cademan Jensen got the inbounds pass. He was quickly double teamed, but then a little bit too much defense as they reach inside and get called for the hack.
You know, the other challenge here for Lincoln is when you're facing that kind of defensive pressure nonstop, you get really worn and tired. You get nice shot there.
That time, Bennett Jensen with the three.
But as I was saying, you get so worn trying to work for every little thing that then when you finally get your open three, do you have the legs?
Yeah.
Do you still have that energy to make your shot?
Yeah, and that's the flip side, too, where HEA is pushing the pace. Your legs are so tired just from running back after every play. That time the floater by Bauer, that's his first two of the game. Quickly the other way. Oh, playing their own, got them at their own game there almost. As quickly the other way, that was Grant Lenzen with the bucket. Nice answer. 25 seconds to go, though. They're going to need a lot more of those.
Yeah, anytime you have a chance to get behind the defense there and get a quick bucket, you'll take it. And the Firebirds do it right there.
So we've talked about everything else. There's assist. Add that to his toolkit. Holy cow. Opsimer having a game. Here's the Eagles. Trying to finish this half with something good. Nelson cut off. Flips it out. Here's Taylor. Top of the key. Off the backboard. No good. And that's the way this half will end. It's been the HEA Firebirds on fire. They lead it 48-22 behind a fantastic performance by Opsimer and Markowitz. And we'll see what the Eagles can do to answer that in the second half. We'll be back with the third quarter action of this boys 5A 18U game after this halftime break. Welcome back to the 34th Annual National Christian Homeschool Basketball Championship. Scott Staten, Joshua Jenkins, Brandon Bilger. And we are at halftime of the HEA Firebirds Lincoln Eagles boys 18U 5A game. And so far, the HEA Firebirds, they're the 3 seed, but boy, they are looking dominant right now, leading 48-22 on the strength of Roman Opsimer. He's so far in this game with 15. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. He's got more than that. 18 points. Also, Markowitz doing a great job down low. He's also in double digits. Anderson Blair. And so right now they lead at 48-22. If you're joining us just now, it's the Eagles out of Lincoln, Nebraska. They're in the black uniforms with the red trim. HEA in the white uniforms with the orange trim. HEA finished 4th place in the Midwest. But last year they went deep into this tournament fighting for an undisputed and lost some players, but they've got a good core back and hoping to finish that dream from last year. And so far, the way they're playing this first day of the tournament, you can understand why. On the attack is Bert Nelson, number 3. Nelson goes to his right, being guarded closely there by Ellis Blair. Here's a 3 by Taylor that's good. And now, okay, we're starting to see it. He was quiet in the first half, just had 1 bucket, but we know that he can hit the threes. He's almost got 100 on the year, and then there's a steal. Good start for the Eagles. Back the other way, here's Taylor on the attack, dishes to Nelson. Nelson up and under, puts it up with his left hand. Nice switch there, and a perfect start if you want to come back for Lincoln.
This is exactly how they can turn the tables on this game. Get Taylor going, get his shot falling, then creating turnovers and getting down the floor.
A little bit of a press there, too, to kind of maybe slow down HEA as they've been on the attack the whole first half. Ooh, ball tipped away and almost got it to Taylor. And then there's Markowitz down low, and he is so strong.
And he's just got such a size advantage. It makes it really hard if you give up the rebound to him. He's probably getting the putback.
Here's HEA coming back the other way. Oh, cross-court pass. Laird hit a shot. He gives it right back. Boy, they're using every inch of this court right now. Oh, can he hit another? That one a little bit too strong. Ellis Blair. Or rather, that was Anderson Blair, who'd already hit 3 of those. But not that time. Here comes Lincoln. The spin. Markowitz with the guard. And, just rolled off the front of the rim. He almost forced that one in. But HEA comes away with it. Here come the Firebirds. Double teamed. Oh, ball tipped away. Great hands by Taylor up to Bert Nelson. Nelson, and he is fouled that time by Ellis Blair. See if they call it on the shot. I think they're going to call it on the floor.
And that was a critical turnover created by Nelson there because on the other end of the floor here, the Firebirds had the numbers advantage down in the basket, 3 players to 2 defenders. And they weren't able to get the ball down there quickly before the turnover was created.
Nice recovery. Here come the Eagles on the drive. Oh, switch hands. He kind of lost the ball there. Will Stratman couldn't get that one to go. And then here comes HEA. Quickly their way. Pass across the lane. Missed the first shot. Got his own rebound. Second shot no good. And guess who? Markowitz. Another putback. He's had so many offensive boards, 19 points now in the game. But then it looked like the Firebirds fell asleep, and a quick pass ahead to Linson. He gets his second bucket of the game, 54-29.
That's what you got to do if you're the Eagles. You just keep on punching. You're getting punched, but you just keep punching back. Don't stop.
Firebirds working it around. Drive in the paint, kick out, right side. Opsimer 3, too strong. Rebound off to Stratman. Up ahead quickly to Linson. Linson back to Jensen. Jensen going to drive it, gives it back to Linson, and rolls in. Boy, he got the shooter's touch there. Looked like it was too strong. It hung up on that rim for a second and then fell through. A little bit of a flurry here for the Eagles. Brandon, it looks like the press that the Eagles have put on started to bother the Firebirds just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this caught them off guard after the half, but it's definitely working.
Here's Opsimer. Little running floater that's no good. Markowitz got his hand on it, tipped it over to his teammate Blair. And then there's Opsimer. Nice touch. He drops it in. That's his 19th point of the game. 56-31 now.
Again, all of that created by Firebirds offensive rebounding. They're doing a great job getting in rebounding position.
Nelson that time. And, boy, we've seen most of the shots, the three-point shots by the Eagles have been behind the college line. I mean, they are way out there, and they can hit them, but not that time. Taylor that time knocked down. They let the contact go. Here's Opsimer, right side three. That one short. Rebound off to Taylor. Here comes the Eagles on the attack. Halfway through this third quarter, Lincoln needing to continue to play like they have this quarter. Long three, too strong. Gets his own board, though. Nelson passes underneath. There's Lenzen up and under.
Really unselfish by Nelson there.
Yeah.
And a great find.
Lenzen with a 6-point flurry here. And, boy, he's become very active on the defensive end. And that press is really, if nothing else, it's slowed down HEA. And then that time they get the 10-second call.
Big time. That's just, the effort by Lenzen. He is all over the place. He's kind of the spark right now for the Eagles out of the half, just giving the Firebirds something to think about, something different in the back of their mind to kind of throw their game off a bit.
Well, that press has really worked for them. Good call by the Eagles coaching staff. Here's Taylor going to his left, bounces it back. He gets the ball again. You got to think he's looking for a shot. Here's Stratman. That's a three. It is short. Rebound into the hands of HEA and Carson Stinson. Opsimer, boy, he almost walked there trying to get rid of the ball. And ball tipped away. Another steal by the Eagles. Up ahead if he finds his man. All the way. There he is again. Linson, the energy man, the spark plug for these Eagles. And now the bench really starting to get into it.
That's 8 points for Linson here in this third quarter. Created on plays like that.
He's got 10 on the game now, leading his team. Opsimer on the drive, finds Markowitz. Boy, that's a smart play there. When you're struggling, you go back to what you know works. Here's Linson. Boy, he's beating everybody down the court, and then he gets knocked down. Foul on the Firebirds. I don't know what he drank at halftime, but it's working.
Maybe some old Michael's Secret stuff in the locker room there. If those kids even know what that is these days.
Eagles bringing it under their own basket. Trying to keep this run going where they can sense that they have a shot getting back into this game. That time, ball was just kind of thrown up. It was Bennett Jensen that time. Firebirds come away with it. HEA with the lead. It looks like a comfortable lead on the scoreboard, but I'll tell you that this third quarter's been pretty much controlled by the Eagles out of Lincoln. That time, the ball knocked away from Opsimer's hand. Here come the Eagles, another steal. Up ahead, Nelson. Boy, they're getting behind the defense. Great block, but you got a whistle, and that's going to be a foul on Blair.
Yeah, it really seems like the Eagles are playing the game that they've played all year long.
Yeah.
They kind of struggle to do that against the size and just the intensity of the Firebirds in the first half. And now they're the ones playing like their hair's on fire.
Yeah. It's almost like the two teams switched uniforms at the half because this is what HEA was doing in the first half. They get a rebound and just run. And right now it is the Eagles who are getting the fast break points, getting some steals. That press has really kind of switched the momentum and the flow of this game into their favor. They've got a long way to go still, but they have cut it down to 21. Here they go on the attack again. HEA, double team. Opsimer is going to drive the lane. Little floater goes up, and he rattles that home, and he gets the foul. He'll have a chance for another three-point play.
Yeah, he's just too strong. A little slap on the wrist as he's shooting a shot. No effect whatsoever on his shot.
And we got a substitution coming in, getting Taylor back in.
Yeah, we say all this about the Eagles and just the great effort they've put out here in this third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And like I say, you look up and it's still over a 20-point game. And you look down and Markowitz has 8 in the quarter. Opsimer, he's got 5 in the quarter.
22 now for Opsimer. You got to love the fight, though, with this Lincoln team. Oh, and there's a steal by Markowitz. He's going to take it the other way, blocked or guarded by Jensen, and puts it up and in. He's made some crazy layups today. Holy smokes, great body control when he's up in the air.
It doesn't even feel like it's crazy now. It's like that's just what he does.
That three by Havlet is no good. Here's Taylor. dumps it off to Johnson, and a good find. Gideon Johnson with his second bucket of the game. We got a whistle, and going to be a quick timeout. So they've made a little bit of a run, but as you said, guys, it's still a 24-point lead, and HEA, even though they've been kind of taken out of the tempo that they liked in that first half, they still are showing just how dangerous they are, even with the press that's kind of slowed down their action, but they're still able to get it to their bigs. And, boy, behind Markowitz and Opsimer, they are just a force to be dealt with down low.
That really is the key, is even when things can flip and the other team can start to control a game or assert their will, it's the two guys, Opsimer, Markowitz, that are the comfort blanket, the security blanket. So you have a stabilizing force, two stabilizing forces, even when everything around you might be going a little crazy, and that's just such an advantage. And that really makes HEA really scary.
You can almost put an M in front of it the way they were playing this first half. The dominance that MHEA has had. That'll be a fun story to watch as this week progresses, too. HEA with the inbounds. They lead it with just a minute to go here in this third quarter. Boys 18U 5A action, and that was right on the line. He almost got the turnover. There's a dish to Opsimer. He was point-blank range, but threw it up, and it didn't go. Eagles come away with the ball. Bert Nelson pushing the pace for the Eagles. Drives into the lane, stops, kicks it back out. Here's Linzen. Linzen, little floater. That time no good. Nelson gets the board, puts it up, no good, and Opsimer with the rebound. Well, they had their chances there.
They did. They had some great looks. Linzen was just right there and couldn't get it to drop.
And a lot of contact. They're going to talk about it. Could have gone either way there, but they're going to say it was on the Eagles. Opsimer will inbound it just to our right. 40 seconds to go here, third quarter. Firebirds in control, 63-39. Winner will move on to the Division I semis. Whoever's defeated in this game will drop down to Division II, but still have a chance at a gold ball. So tournament setup is going to give everybody an opportunity. That three that time was long by Carson Stenson. Here come the Eagles. 19 seconds to go in the quarter. They trail it 63-39. Taylor switches hands, puts it up, draws the contact. He will be at the free throw line. We've seen a little more aggression from Taylor this quarter. And you can't blame sometimes when a defense is set up to stop a player. It is better that they're not forcing shots, and you've seen Taylor be able to kind of like get everybody else involved. He's content not to force the game, and great signs for a really good player as he sinks the first one. Eagles now cut it to 23, 14 seconds to go. Second shot, that one's strong. Opsimer with the board. Well, we don't keep rebounding stats, but I got to think HEA has a bushel full of offensive boards.
No doubt about it.
Oh, Taylor that time. But he got over Opsimer. And I got it right in the head.
Are you all right,
Scott? I'm good. I need a helmet over here. In case you didn't see it, that was a direct shot
it's too
right
bad
in
don't
the
have
head.
Video on us over here.
Oh, yeah. If we had a camera on that, it would have been amazing. I think I should get some points for that one.
The assist.
I'll forgive whoever threw that at me. I didn't even see it.
You look down for half a second to write down who scored, and the ball's flying your way. I
still don't know who scored.
Pace of this game.
I know where I'm at. That's what matters, right? No concussion. Inbounds by the Eagles. And on the inbounds, no good. And that's the way it will end this quarter. 63-32. It is the HEA Firebirds with the lead over the Lincoln Eagles. We'll be back after this break.
When it hurts, real time it.
Ouch!
When it hurts, real time it. When it hurts, real time it.
Welcome back to a very dangerous National Christian Homeschool Basketball Championships. Oh, good. Yeah, we just had a really fun end to that quarter as the HEA Firebirds, as they've done all game, we're looking for a run out, and other team had just scored, and as we looked down to write down who scored, the ball was a perfect pass from Opsimer to my head. And, but we're all good. No concussion protocol necessary. But it has been all Firebirds, and they lead at 63-42 with the ball in the white uniforms. Here's Opsimer with the shot. That one's short. Markowitz, another board. He can't get it to go. He's done that multiple times this game where he'll get an offensive board, miss the shot, and get another one, put it back up. He will be at the free throw line. So active on the offensive boards today. Markowitz has just been cleaning the glass like crazy. First shot is good. He'll get one more. 24 points now for Brady Markowitz. And second one rattles in. That's a two-headed monster there, Roman Opsimer and Brady Markowitz for HEA. They're going to be a tough tandem to deal with as they move deeper into this tournament.
Yeah, and extremely fun to watch. It's been nothing but enjoyable. The way these guys play together and their team plays off them. Great brand of basketball.
HEA getting pressured again by the Eagles. They already got one 10-second call, but that time Firebirds able to get it across. Here's a corner three that is too strong. That time by Anderson Blair. He hit three in the first half, but hasn't been able to connect here in the second. Markowitz will be back at the free throw line. Another offensive board.
You almost would consider, if you're a team coming to play HEA, whether you're the Eagles or a team in the future that might be a little bit undersized with these guys, do you even think about putting two guys to box out Markowitz to get him off the boards?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. It's something to think about.
He's just so active. Second one rattles out, but Opsimer cleans it up. Another offensive board. Yeah, that's the thing. You double team him, and then you got Opsimer to deal with. Yeah.
Pick your poison.
And then we've already seen HEA can shoot from outside as well. So, yeah, it's a tough one. Here's Nelson on the drive. He stops and drug his foot there. Good defense that time by Anderson Blair. HEA gets the ball back. 6:55 to go. Eagles once again with that press. But HEA gets it across the timeline, and here they come on the attack. Flips it over. That time Nelson cut in front of Markowitz, and he gets the steal. Here come the Eagles. Stratman falling down, able to get the ball, though, to his teammate, Jensen. Markowitz knocks it away, dives on the floor to come up with the steal. Great defensive hustle there. HEA with the ball. You never know they're up by 26 points the way they're playing right now.
I mean, that's what makes them so special.
Oh, quickly up ahead after the steal. There's Taylor. His third bucket of the game. 8th point. HEA back the other way quickly. They break the press. Lob it up to Markowitz. Boy, he had to grab the net because he was about to fall down, but Eagles come away with the ball. Stratman to the corner. On the drive, Jensen up top to Stratman. He's open, but finds his man down low. Kicks it back out to Stratman for three. Got it. And we got a timeout. 5:48 to go. So, guys, we'll keep it here right now. As we're looking ahead, this is, if things hold up, unless there's a really big comeback by Lincoln, it looks like HEA is going to move on and be in the Division I in 5A, and the Eagles moving down. What both teams, as you're looking ahead, maybe Brandon, you talk about one of them, and Josh, you take the other. As they look ahead coming out of this game, what are some good takeaways they can have as they move on to their next round?
Well, I'll definitely take the Lincoln Eagles. They've got a lot of fight, a lot of fire, especially the second half, putting together some good runs and definitely not letting that score differential kind of take over and keep them out of their mindset. So.
Yeah, I mean, for the Firebirds, I mean, I'm trying to think of where they can improve, and they've done everything so well. I mean, the effort, the hustle plays, laying on the floor, just the dominance, the shooting. It's just you've got to hammer home. We're on a mission. Stick to the mission.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get mission drift. Don't get lazy. Don't get relaxed. Stay fiery and hungry.
Opsimer
just keep doing
to Markowitz, yeah. Yeah, you got to like the way they're playing, and these two, wow, what a tandem. But you can't forget about, I mean, the defensive job by both Blairs when they've been out there and Rebant. They have really done a great job limiting the Lincoln Eagles. And they're going to stop this to get the clock going again. But the way that they have been able to shut down a prolific offense, I mean, the three-point shots, I mean, there's several here. You had Burton Nelson started out on fire with the threes. But for the most part, they've contained them the rest of the game. And that defense is something else to be watching as they move deeper into this, as they start playing some teams that have a little bit more force and power and rankings and wins. They're going to have to be able to have a defense that can stop good players. But it is nice to know you've got two that the other team's going to have to stop. They're going to have a hard time with. HEA with the ball. Here's Opsimer for three. Off the backboard. Did he call that one? Another three for him. 27 now in the game. Here's Nelson. Eagles. Jensen over to the corner. Lenzen, boy, he's had a great third and fourth quarter. Second half has been tough for him, or just a great job for him, rather, but it's been tough for the Eagles, and they're going. And then the other way, that was Blair with the bucket. He's not scored a lot, but he has been all over the place defensively. Taylor for three. Got it.
Nice shot there from Taylor. Yeah, they haven't needed Blair to score. So that's the other thing you wonder about, too, is they may get in a situation down the road where they need other guys to score, and they've got more options, more people to go to.
Great defensive pressure by the Eagles there. Ball was knocked out of bounds off of Blair, so the Eagles will get it back. 75-50, about halfway through this fourth and final quarter. This boys 18U Division I 5A game. The winner moves on to Division I semis. Loser will drop down to Division II. Try to win a gold ball there. HEA bringing it back the other way after the miss. Opsimer, contact, no call. Right corner, three, got it. Anderson Blair, he's hit 4 of those this game.
And it's so good because it's all just in the flow of the game. The ball movement going from side to side, drive, kick, swing around. This was just good in-motion threes.
Jensen that time, and then a reach in. You could hear the ball, but it did sound like he got arm as well. Well, they wanted to steal there. Love the hustle. Love the hustle by the Eagles. They are playing like it's a one-point game, and that press is going to come up with the winning steal for them, and I love it. And we got a timeout. Eagles and Firebirds going to take a full timeout break, so we'll take a break as well. We'll be back with the final 3 minutes and 59 seconds of this one. Coming up next, we'll have more great 18U action as we'll be watching the Chap Chariots and the Red River Rattlers. But we'll have the finish of this HEA Firebirds Lincoln Eagles game after this. Welcome back. 3:59 to go in this one. HEA Firebirds in control, leading at 78-50. Looking to advance on to Division I semis. Opsimer that time, no good. Markowitz, double-digit offensive boards, but flips it out to Opsimer. He gets the bucket. He's now got 29 on the game. 80-50. HEA out of Michigan, just rolling right now, looking so tough. Jensen on the drive to the left, ball knocked out of his hands. It will stay down at this end.
You know, that has been the story this whole game for the Firebirds. Markowitz and Opsimer down low doing their thing. We've talked about it the whole game. But it's so dominant to see. Nice bucket there for Jensen.
Yeah, good inbounds.
You know, typically in a basketball game, you'll have ebbs and flows. You'll have different storylines pick up. One quarter, this guy's the hot hand. This quarter, this guy. But it's been Opsimer and Markowitz all day long.
It has. Another steal for the Eagles, and as Bert Nelson went in for the shot, he had to spin around, and he got fouled. He'll be at the free throw line for 2. Yeah, it's been constant. 29 for Opsimer, 28 for Markowitz, and like I said, we don't have the luxury of having a computer that shows us all the different stats, including rebounds, but both guys got to be in the double digits. I mean, Markowitz alone, his offensive board work's got to have over 10. So they have really dominated down there. They're so active. That first half, they really pushed the pace. In the second half, Lincoln was able to slow it down a little bit with the press, but the result's pretty much still the same. They are playing some ball. Nelson hits the shot. Back the other way, HEA. Going to work the ball around some. Opsimer's still in, but they've made some substitutions. Left corner 3, too strong. Rebound off to the Eagles. Stratman up ahead to Jensen. Jensen cut off by Blair. Taylor out top, working around. 2 minutes to go here. 80-53. HEA on the defense with the lead. Taylor for 3. No good. Rebound off into the hands, the able hands of Roman Opsimer. Other way, HEA quickly ahead. Blair going to pull it up, guarded closely by Taylor behind the back. Dribbles, drives, bounce pass on the other side of the lane, put it up and hit the side of the backboard, but he was hacked. And going to the free throw line will be Matthew Lietzau.
Well, so far here at the Drury court this morning, it's been all chalk. The higher seeds have been pulling it out in the end, and this one, minute and a half away from that continuing.
Firebirds will join the Manhattan Thunder and the Wichita Warriors as winners so far this morning in the 18U as the free throw goes. It will stay down at this end. HEA just really showing some promise for a really good week for them. On the inbounds, here comes Lincoln. 1:27 to go. Johnson cut off at the block. Good motion. Jensen on the attack, but ball tipped away, stolen by Opsimer. Thought about up ahead to his teammate. This time he's going to drive, put up a little floater that's short, tips the ball out, and HEA comes up with another offensive rebound. Just over 1 minute to go now. Ball tipped away. There's a steal up ahead to Taylor. Taylor's going to take it in, lay it in, and gets himself another bucket. That is 7 in this quarter. He's got 13 on the game now. 54 seconds to go. So, guys, as we look ahead, we're going to talk about the HEA Firebirds in 5A. They're going to be able to go into this with some good momentum. And you got to think that, at least in 5A, even though they are coming in here as a 3 seed, that they've got to be a team that is looked at as dangerous because even though their ranking because of what happened in the Midwest is maybe not as high as they had hoped, they're going to be a team that I wouldn't be surprised further down in the week as we move along.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't let the 3 seed deceive you, and you can't worry about that if you're the guys out there. You just go out and play. You know how good you are. You know what you're supposed to do and what you can do. You know, the one question that may be yet to be answered here for the Firebirds and as the tournament wears on is they're not a super deep team in terms of the bench. You know, these guys played pretty much the whole game.
Right.
So we'll see if the conditioning has a factor in this at all for them.
And definitely, like any team, when you got good players, foul trouble could always be an issue. But boy, they both, even though they're aggressive, they've played really cleanly today. Not a lot of fouls called on their side. On the inbounds, they had a couple of really good inbounds plays. Bennett Jensen that time puts it in. 34 seconds to go. So the Eagles will drop down to Division II, but still can have gold ball aspirations. It'll just be in the different division. HEA will move on in 5A. And as we mentioned, coming up next, Chap Chariots, another team coming out of the Midwest. They will be taking on the Red River Rattlers out of the Big South. And had a little bit of a mix-up there at the table. I think that was a 5th foul on somebody, so they're going to pull them out. But as we look ahead to that game, that's going to be another fun one. We got the number 2 seed, Chap Chariots. They were the runners-up in the Midwest. And Red River, even though they're a 7 seed, that Big South is just so deep that any team coming out of there, you got to be able to be wary of. First free throw, no good. One more to go. Luke Wolf trying to get in the scorer's column. In and out. Rebound off to Foskett. Eagles. 22 seconds left in this one. Corner 3 by Zelny. No good. Rebound off to Ian Taylor. Here's another 3 that is short. Goes out of bounds. Nice effort to try to save it. And that looks like that's pretty much going to do it with 10 seconds to go. Well, they're going to press still. Getting ready for more games. Got to keep make sure everybody's on the same page. Drive, some contact, nothing there. Firebirds get it across. And they're going to take it in all the way up and in. Carson Stinson ends the scoring. And a big win here, 84-57, as the HEA Firebirds out of Michigan will advance now in Division I 5A. Coming up next, Red River Rattlers taking on the Chap Chariots. We'll have that action after this short break.